welcome to another YSL research presentation. This is going to feature the distance formula, and it pops up all the time in maths, and one thing that I want to say is that it looks quite conceptual, but this is actually quite easy, and I want to talk you through the actual concept. Then we're going to go through a live example. So I want to make quite clear that when I'm explaining how it works and why it works, if you don't quite get it, don't worry, because I think as long as you can sort of follow roughly what's going on, as soon as I show you a live example, you'll be like, oh, okay, that makes sense. It's actually quite easy. So the question wants us to work out the distance between point A and point B on an x-axis, y-axis. And what I've done is I've drawn the line, and I've actually drawn another line to make this into a right angle triangle, because we want to know the length of this side basically. And in a right angle triangle, the longest side is always the one opposite the right angle. So this is the hypotenuse, and we can use Pythagoras theorem, which is this formula here, to work out the length of this. Because if we know the length of this and the length of this side, then we can work that out because of Pythagoras theorem. And that's all basically that we need to know, because when you get the question, you'll be given the coordinates for A. So you'll be given a X value and a Y value, and you'll get the same for B. So all you do is you basically just plug these in and you use this formula and you get your answer. It's as simple as that. The only thing that you do need to be careful of is you need to acknowledge the fact that it's x2 minus x1, y2 minus y1. If you forget, don't worry too much, because you'll get a negative number, and then you should recognize that actually you've done something wrong. Because say this point is 2 and this point is 4. If you do it the wrong way around, you get minus 2 instead of 2. So let's go through a live example. It'll be a lot easier than what you think. This is actually quite a simple question. The question that we're going to answer is find the distance between points 2, 4 and 5, 3. And this is a typical question on a maths exam. So all really that we need to do is just plug these numbers in. 5 minus 2 will give us 3. And remember to write the square root first, as I've done, because otherwise you might forget, once you've done all of the calculating, you might forget that you need to square root what's left. And then this is the value from the x's. It's always going to be positive, as I said, because you are taking away you're taking a small number away from a large number, whereas the opposite holds for the y values, because we have to take a smaller number away from a bigger number, and we end up with, so we have effectively 3 minus 4, which is going to give us minus 1. So we end up with our negative value, and that gets squared. Next stage will give us, remember to put the square root function. It's a really good habit to get into, not just for these questions, anything, because it reminds you at the end. Don't get too focused on what you're doing inside. And then we end up 9 plus 1, which gives us root 10. What is the square root of 10? Well, it isn't. So this is a third. And this, we can't change this now. This is the answer. So when you're asked what is the distance between point A and point B, the number is not a rational number. It's basically a third. And that distance is equal to root 10. And that is how it's done. It is as simple as that. We will be uploading another video shortly on calculating midpoints, which is very linked to this sort of question. Don't forget to subscribe for more videos from YSL Research.